Benny is a developmentally disabled adult. He's diagnosed with cerebral palsy, severe mental retardation, and spastic quadriplegia. He's ambulatory and speech is very limited, but he is the most friendly, social person you can meet.
Benny came to me about when he was 15 years old. You know, I was always helping people, working with disabled people and sick people.
I grew up with Benny, so I never seen him any different than a brother. In 2007, Benito was removed from his day program without notice to us, nor his own biological family.
One day, the bus didn't come here, and we didn't know what to do.
We knew his rights were being violated. At that time, we found out about Tzedek and their services.
In 2007, I received a call from Vivian Tennyson, who's Benny's mother, and she told me that Benny had been removed from his home of 25 years.
He was terrified when he moved out. I can only imagine.
Once Benny was 18, in the eyes of the law, he was an adult.
I wanted to explain to Benny what's happening, what's going on, and they wouldn't let me.
The state made a determination that Benny would be better off in a state-run multi-bed facility that was not a home setting.
They fed him an improper diet, he was put in a wheelchair, and they weren't able to communicate with him, so you couldn't ask for help.
They assumed Benny wasn't able to express his desires because he's nonverbal. But Benny is very clear on what his likes and dislikes are. April and Adolph were Benny's primary caregivers, but nobody really had any legal authority to determine where Benny could live because there was no conservatorship in place.
He was gone for about a month. And then one time the bus driver brought him here by accident.
Benny goes to a day program 5 days a week. The bus driver was not on duty the day Benny was removed, so when the bus driver returned to driving, he picked up Benny from school and brought him home. And Benny got off the bus and was so happy to be home.
Yeah, he hugged me, and I had to release his hug and put him back on the bus. He was just staring at me. Don't you love me no more? What's up? You know.
It was a terrible day for the whole family. So we went to court and filed a temporary conservatorship, and the judge allowed Benny to go home.
When Benny returned, he was extremely happy. He was giving huge hugs that lasted for a while.
In 2011, Benny's mother called me again saying they were planning to remove Benny from the home because the home wasn't a licensed care facility. We determined the best course of action was to add April and Adolph as co-conservators with Vivian. But the judge instead said what we need is a trial on this. So we scrambled to put together a defense, and we prevailed. The judge was really able to see from the witnesses about how much Benny meant to them and how well he was cared for.
Without Tzedek, we wouldn't be here together.
We lost Benny. Tzedek came, they helped bring Benny back to us.
We wouldn't be a family. This home wouldn't be here without Tzedek.
My name's Sarah. Another name is Joy, Joy.
I was a cheerleader when I was her age, and so it's sort of fun that she likes being a cheerleader.
Yeah, cheerleading until 14. It's a game tomorrow. It's our away game.
Our daughter's name is Sarah Joy. She's presently 19 years old, and she has Down syndrome. When I was about 4 months pregnant, I had an amnio done, and the doctor thought that because I was 41, I should have that done, and I was just sure that he was going to say everything's fine, but we didn't hear that. We heard that we were going to have a Down syndrome daughter. The first time I heard about conservatorship, someone shared with me how it was so important that once they turned 18, that they had that protection from the parents still having a say in their life and what they did. My husband and I, we wanted to make sure that no one could take advantage of her vulnerability. We went to the court and got paperwork and thought, well, we'll look at it and see if we could do it ourselves. And I was lost with all the terminology. So I was really concerned and thought we're going to have to look into finding a lawyer. And then Sarah started school here at Miller Career Center, where the papers came home that they were going to offer this class with Tzedek, that they were going to come and help us do it. Oh boy, was I excited when I heard about that.
Most all of our students do not have the ability to make long-term decisions when it comes to financial or medical decisions or housing.
We team up with special education schools in Los Angeles County to provide families with an overview of the legal consequences of their child turning 18.
Without Tzedek's help, most of our students would never end up conserved.
We just had to fill in the questionnaires, and then they did all the legal paperwork.
The Family Matters program is distinct in that we provide direct representation to the clients we serve. Our incredible pro bono partners of O'Melveny and Paul Hastings come in so that each family has a one-on-one attorney that can go through the experience with them and hold their hand through the process.
The attorney was so wonderful, and he really worked with us and really listened.
If it wasn't for Tzedek, these families wouldn't have been able to navigate the legal system and secure the conservatorships that they needed.
Our heart for Sarah is to reach her full potential and not limit her, and allow her to make some choices with the consequences that might be, to the degree where there's still a safety zone where we have the final say of that decision.
She now has this conservatorship where she can continue to advocate and ensure that Sarah has the proper resources to further excel.
Working with Berta has just been just wonderful.
Berta is
a nice lady, huh?
Nice lady, and she's my friend. Take him, Tzedek, and we have fun.
The need for conservatorships is growing because the developmentally disabled population is growing, and they're living longer, healthier lives.
The Family Matters Project helps families with developmentally disabled kids get conservatorships for those kids. I have an autistic son, and at the age of 18, your child becomes an adult. And if you don't have that conservatorship, your child is now effectively on their own.
56 years ago, my sister was born with Down syndrome. Robin is a published author. She's done this acting. She's just an amazing woman. When she was born, the doctors told my mother to put her in an institution because she'd never learn anything. And Robin spent her life proving that doctor completely wrong. People with Down syndrome get Alzheimer's very early. Robin's began to show up in her 50s. I one day found her crying, and she was very upset because she knew she couldn't remember things. And one of her lines about Alzheimer's that I love is about the confusion, and she said, "I hate being confused, it confuses me." I knew that it was going to be essential to get this conservatorship put in place.
Tzedek came up with the idea with the courts to have a clinic for folks who are doing their own conservatorship.
The self-help clinics will walk you through all the paperwork, and they take what could be a very scary, intimidating legal process and streamline it and make it doable and user-friendly.
There's over 70 pages of forms that have to be filled out that are technically really complicated.
But most cases are fairly straightforward. So people are pretty much able to, in most cases, represent themselves.
Josh helped me with the conservatorship on my sister. He made it so simple and easy.
Well over 85% were successful in obtaining the conservatorship. This year we're on track to do about 1,450, which is probably well over 40% of all the conservatorships in Los Angeles County.
So we rely very heavily on volunteers in order to get all of the work done.
As the elder law social worker, I'm going to determine what is the legal and the social needs of the individual and whether they're going to go through the Family Matters program or the Transitions program.
They deal with a wide range of services, taking a holistic approach to what's happening with families. Do you have the right housing situation? Do you have the proper public benefits in place? What's going on with that family, and addressing as much of the problem as we can, not just dealing with the crisis and then sending people back out into the world. At Tzedek, we have three main interlocking areas of service: community-based lawyering, economic justice and consumer rights, elder law, and family caregiver. We have a talented staff that are known as experts in each of their fields. However, there simply isn't enough time for us to reach all of the people that need our help.
Many of the clients who come to Tzedek come to us because they don't know how to navigate through our complex legal system.
We could not reach the number of people that we do without the assistance of those pro bono attorneys.
Last year, 86,000 hours of attorney time were given to Bet Tzedek's clients. That's almost $30 million in legal services.
Bet Tzedek is making a transformative change in the life of these people.
We do not charge any of our clients.
We're able to help people who really have nowhere else to go.
And in order to continue this kind of work, we need your help.
We're seeing a greater need than ever before.
For every dollar that comes in the door, we end up providing more than $3 worth of legal services to the thousands of clients we serve. If you spent just 2 minutes looking and listening to the people who come through here with the problems they face, you too would want to do everything you could to help them and help this organization.
Think about helping us either through financial support or through volunteer support.
There is so much more that we could do with additional funds.
Because the need is so great.
It's important to me to know that there is a place like Bet Tzedek.
Thank you for providing support in whichever manner you do to Bet Tzedek.
Knowing Benny and participating in this case made me a better lawyer, and a better advocate, and a better person.
If Bet Tzedek wasn't here for us, we wouldn't be at home.
I'd like to thank you for keeping my family together.
We really do thank you from our hearts.
Yeah, you are, Bet Tzedek.
I love Bet Tzedek.